girlies, welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Alicia Gogan if you are new, and if you are new, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And we're talking everything women's wellness, femininity, self-love, dating, anything really. And today we're going to be talking about the Infraredian Rhythm. Now, it has been highly requested that I make this video, so today we're going to talk about what the Infraredian Rhythm is. If you are a female, then you go through this cycle. If you are not on birth control and you are not pregnant, and either way, I think you should learn about this just being a female. And one of my TikTok videos went viral, and I was talking about how women need to stop taking care of themselves like a man, and it kind of blew up. And then I was talking about how we have an Infraredian rhythm that we fluctuate through all month, every single month, which affects the way that we feel, the way that we go out into life, and how we have our productivity, and how we do exercise and work and eating and all of these habits. And if we can understand our cycles better and start to support our bodies the way that it needs, then we will feel more productive, we'll feel better about ourselves, and we won't be down on ourselves when we wake up a few days out of the month and we're like, I literally can't do this insane workout right now, I have no energy. So let's talk about it quickly. I'll give you some book recommendations and break down the phases so that you can kind of understand this more. And yeah, I just want to also preface this, I'm not a doctor, I am not a specialist. Like, this is just all my own research that I have done. I'm going to give you guys resources in which you can do your own research. So just taking it from me, again, these are things that I have learned, and I consistently show you guys the things that I learned on my own journey of glowing up as the best version of myself, whether that's taking care of my body or my mindset or whatever. And I just want to show you guys and let you guys know. Also, I've talked about this a few times in my past videos, and I told you guys that I'm going to make a video on this, so here it is. Alright, so first we need to talk about what the Infraredian Rhythm is, and it's essentially just a 28 to like 30-ish day cycle, and it has 4 phases in this cycle. And us women, we fluctuate through these phases every single 28 days. So with men, they operate off of a circadian rhythm. So it's basically like a 24-hour clock. So they wake up in the morning, their cortisol levels rise, they kind of have that spark of energy, they have enough energy potentially just to like go and do a workout, and then they're off to work, right? And they're eating to support their body to be able to get through the day and be productive. And by around, let's say 5, 6, whatever social hour comes, and maybe they feel ready to go socialize, maybe go on a date, or you know, like go watch a game, whatever. And then as the night comes, their energy levels start to fall, and like they're ready to go to sleep. And then the next day it resets again. So that's basically how men operate. Now, not every man is the exact same, especially if he has health issues or like whatever the case is, but majority of the time that's just how men kind of operate. Every single day they wake up and their hormones are kind of like at the same levels throughout different times throughout the day. And also that is how society is really built. The 9 to 5, the social hour, the happy hour, all of these things are really catered to how a man operates on a biological level, which unfortunately is not necessarily that helpful for us. And that's why we kind of struggle sometimes to be in this society that is ran off of how men take care of themselves. So anyways, that's a whole nother like topic, but they operate off that clock. We also operate off that same clock, of course, because we have the same bodily functions. Like, we have a metabolism, like we have to wake up in the morning, we have to go to sleep, and like all of these things. And like the sun rises and the sun sets. So we operate off of that clock. But we also have this background clock, and that clock is the Infraredian Rhythm. So again, we have hormones within us that fluctuate all throughout the month because we are women, and we ovulate, and you know, we're fertile and we can make children, and you know, like we just have different biology. And so understanding that not every single day you're gonna wake up feeling the same, because your hormones are maybe risen, depending on which one we're talking about, or it's really, really low. And your hormones affect the way that you feel. It affects your energy, the energy that you have to output in terms of a workout. It affects your cravings and what you want and how much food you need for your metabolism. It also affects your inspiration and your intuition to be able to tap in and to like be creative and be productive. All of these things are influencing, like our hormones are influencing the way that we do things in our lives. So it's important to understand which phase that you're in, or at least try and get like an understanding of just the fact that you have this clock running in the background, because that way you can kind of navigate life a little bit better. That way you can plan to do certain things in different phases, or you could just learn how to create that strong, like motherly voice within yourself to tell yourself on the days that you don't feel okay, being like, you know what, today I don't feel that productive and I can't get all this work done, and I'm not gonna get down on myself, and I'm not gonna get hard on myself, and I'm not gonna say that I need to do it exactly like a man does. I am different, I am female, and this is not to say that you need to give yourself excuses and never work out and do all these things, but it's just, I think that this is something that we can use in our toolkit in terms of stepping into our feminine energy. You know, this is what I'm all about on this channel, and I think that this is just another thing that we can learn as women that help us step into our divine feminine energy. So let's talk about the 4 phases. I'm gonna kind of give you some tips in terms of exercise and like eating and productivity, and just kind of like allow you to understand like what it means to be in these phases. Okay, so the first phase of your infraredian rhythm cycle, let's say, is your menstrual phase. So this is the phase that you probably know the most of, because this is where you're bleeding. This is like where you're actually getting your period. So this can last between like 5 to 7 days. Now, the days in which I'm letting you know can absolutely fluctuate, and it really depends. Again, I'm gonna get into the resources that you can kind of do your own research on, but it's the length of your period, right? So this is where you're bleeding. This is where your estrogen is the lowest. Like, this is where your hormones are the lowest. So this is where you're not feeling a lot of energy. Sometimes if you really struggle with PMS and cramps and all of these things, like this is where it's happening, and you're not going to feel like super productive and like you can get up and do a HIIT workout, or you can get up and you can eat super clean and just like be super productive and all this kind of stuff. You want to think about this phase as almost like winter. You're in hibernation mode, and so this is where you're probably going to be the most in touch with your intuition, because this is like a reflection mode. Like you're slowing down, you're chilling, you're taking care of your body. This is where when you're eating foods, you want to make sure that you're cooking your foods and you're eating easily digestible foods, because especially if you deal with cramps, right? When you deal with cramps, it's a lot of muscle contraction. So you want to make sure that you're kind of supporting your digestive system the best way, the easiest way you can. So you want to make sure that you're having easily digestible foods, so soups and stews and things of that nature, right? And again, you can easily just Google like the foods that you can be eating for each phase. In terms of exercise, this is where you're probably going to be resting your body, or like maybe if you really want to move your body and you're not feeling like too down on your period, you're going out for a walk, or you're doing like light workouts. So this is the time to really allow yourself the time to rest. Some of us, especially, I know you girls that are watching my YouTube channel, you guys are very into self-improvement and trying to do the best that you can at all times. This is a time to allow yourself to be like, hey, you know what? I am literally, on a biological level, my body is saying slow down. So slow down. All right, the next phase, after you're done your period, you're moving into the follicular phase. So this will last around 7 to 10 days. Again, very estimated here. But this is the phase where you want to think about it as springtime. So you are getting, your hormones are starting to rise, and you're getting more energy, you can feel it. This is a good time to like maybe start a new workout or a new project, or like you are now taking some action on your goals or the kind of like spiritual reflection that you took while you were menstruating, and now you're kind of creating an action plan and you're about to go into some implementation. So this is, again, like I always just think about it the easiest way, think about it as springtime. Also, the foods that you're going to be eating, like you're still going to want to be cooking your food, right? Sauteing or steaming your foods, but maybe you're focusing on more lighter foods. Again, it depends on the diet that you're eating, but you can again go on to Google and just Google all different types of foods like broccoli and zucchini and bell peppers and all these type of whole foods. Like we can get a whole nother video about that, but you know, just thinking about more vibrant foods, changing up your diet and the food that you're eating as well. Like I said, for exercise, like this is where you might be getting some more energy. Again, it's gonna depend on you specifically, but maybe this is the time where you're getting back into your cardio, or you're getting back into those full body workouts, or running or going on walks, things like that, like really just moving your body more, maybe getting some more sweat in. This is also a time when you're in your personal life, maybe you're gonna try something new. So like you're going to a new coffee shop, or maybe you're making plans with your friends to go out on that dinner date that you haven't, like you guys been talking about that you haven't been doing. Like, you know, just thinking about things that you kind of do when you get out of winter into spring. Like, these are the things you're going to be doing in this phase, which I think is so fun and cool, because like only once a year we get to experience springtime, right? But like every month we actually experience springtime if we think about it like that. Your next phase is your ovulatory phase, and this lasts around 3 to 4 days. This is literally summer. Think of your ovulation period as summer, your hot girl summer. And this is why. This is the time where you can make a baby, okay? And I'm not saying that this is the time for you to make a baby, but I'm just saying, like, first of all, you gotta make sure, really make sure. If you're able to track and you know when you're ovulating, you gotta make sure you're wearing protection, girl. Like, I mean, either way you should be, but I'm just saying, like, this is the time that you will get pregnant if you're doing the thing. But also, this is the time where a lot of researchers also say, like when you're a woman, you have these pheromones that are coming off of you. This is the time where you're gonna be the most attractive to men, like on a primitive level. Like, you're not even gonna be able to, like, the man won't really know, and like you might not even really know unless you know that you're ovulating. But like on a biological primitive level, this is gonna be the time where you're gonna be the most attractive to a man. So this is a great time to go on first dates, or like, you know, obviously like getting it in the bedroom, things of that nature. But of course, you're just thinking about summer, right? So this is where when you're eating like smoothies and salads, and you're just like, you know, hot girl summer vibes. Obviously drinking a lot of water. You should be drinking a lot of water no matter what. But also with exercise, this is probably where you're gonna have the most energy. So HIIT workouts, high intensity weightlifting, like, and again, doing any type of workout where you're gonna have to expand a lot of energy, like this is the time to do it. Long hikes, if you're going swimming, things like that. So again, just think about this phase as like your hot girl summer phase, and to think about the fact, once again, that we get to go through this every single month is amazing. I don't know, I love that. Also, when it comes to like productivity and career, like this is the time where you're gonna be the most social, and you're gonna probably be really good at communicating and like collaborating with people and stuff. So again, it really depends on the type of career and the thing that you're doing. But yeah, it's just like a good thing to know, because you just kind of want to capitalize on these things. Like if you know you have a lot of social events or like you know, projects that you want to start, well, maybe try and plan it around the time that you know you're going to be ovulating, because you know you're going to have a lot of energy. All right, and the last phase is a luteal phase, and this lasts around 10 to 14 days. And the first week of your luteal phase, you might feel the same as being in your ovulation stage. Like, things might not necessarily change, but that second week, this is the last week before you go back into bleeding, right? So this phase is really important to understand, because this is where you really want to support yourself in terms of diet and just life in general, because you're gonna be potentially dealing with some PMS symptoms, right? If you're a girl who like struggles with breakouts or lots of cravings and stuff, like you want to support yourself the best you can, because we want to feel good in our bodies no matter what. And so when it comes to diet, your metabolism most likely is going to be speeding up around this time. And so, you know, when you start to like eat a lot of food, and you know, like, oh, I'm getting my period soon because like I cannot stop eating. Okay, so if that's the case, we know that this is happening right now. What can we do to prepare ourselves so that we're not overeating crappy food, or we're just grabbing the most sugary thing because we have sugar cravings? So I always like to say, like, you want to really make sure that you're meal planning around this time, and you're also optimizing your food. So in terms of, because we know we're probably going to be a little bit more hungry, incorporating more foods like slow burning carbs, so like brown rice and sweet potatoes and roasted root vegetables, things that are going to keep you satiated for longer, healthy fats, like making sure you get that stuff in your diet so that you feel fuller for longer throughout this period of time. Also making sure you got healthy snacks around, so that when you have that craving, you're getting something that at least is still good for your body. Like I make these healthy Snicker bars, which is like dates with peanut butter and chocolate over top, and I freeze them, like amazing. Like, or freezing grapes in your freezer, that way you have it when you're having that when you feel like you need that sugar craving, things like that, right? Because we want to have our skin looking nice, we want to feel good in our bodies still as we're going through this time of transition to getting our period. When it comes to productivity and like work and stuff, whether this be like around the house or in your career, you want to try and basically like cleaning up, like getting prepared for you to go back into that winter mode. So like finishing up projects, cleaning up the house, doing a few little tasks here and there, things that you've been putting off, you want to do that before you get into your menstrual cycle, so that way you don't have to worry about that. You can just relax and you can just chill. And again, I know things like you can't just wrap up absolutely everything and go into hibernation mode, but if you can set yourself up so that way you have a chill menstrual like phase, like why not, right? And this is also another time when it comes to personal life, you know, maybe you want to transition to doing some cozy activities. So if you're still hanging out with your friends, maybe like a cozy night in. If you're with your boyfriend, like let's do, you know, like cooking at home and then just like watching a movie, things like that, just slowing things down. And for exercise, like maybe you want to think about slowing things down once again. So maybe doing Pilates, at-home Pilates, just go on go on YouTube and just type in some like at-home Pilates workouts, or just like body weight workouts, nothing too crazy. Again, this is really going to depend on your energy level. So those are the 4 phases, and I want to you got to stick with me here right now, because I know it can be a lot, right? It's like, oh my gosh, now I have to like learn every type of food that I need to eat for every phase, and I have to like plan all these different workouts for all these phases. That you do not have to do that. Like, first of all, you need to just understand your own cycle. So the first thing that I like to say to people is to start tracking your period. Some girls do not even track that, and I know even if you have an inconsistent period, like you should be tracking these things. So I use the app called the Flow app. Now, I've heard a lot of politics going on about this, saying how they track your data, this, that, and the third, so maybe try and find another app if you don't want to use that one, but that's the one I use. When you track your period, it tells you which phase you're in throughout the month. Now, if you have an irregular period, you can still track all the symptoms, you can track what you're eating, you can track how your mood is, everything, to help you kind of get a fuller picture. So I really think it's important that you just start first tracking like where you are. And another thing is to start to do more research on your flow. I think it's so important that we educate ourselves about this. Personally, I am somebody who has a very, very consistent period, but I understand not a lot of women have that. A lot of people have PCOS and they have a lot of problems with their hormones, and I understand that, and I'm not saying like you're wrong for that or you're bad for that, but you have to take some responsibility and just try and do the best you can with understanding what's happening with you, and you know, go to doctors, but also do your own research. So this is a book that I have. It's in the Flow, but I will link it down in my Amazon shop, and this book will help you understand all of the phases and all the things that I talked about. And this touches on if you're in like menopause, if you're on birth control, like if you're going through PCOS, all that kind of stuff. So I think it's really helpful that you get this book or a similar book to teach you more about this, right? I think it's important that you educate yourself on female hormones and like what your body is even doing. I think, again, it's very empowering. And another thing is to take your time. So maybe each month, you're just gonna focus on one phase of your period. You're gonna be like very in tune and just start to see the subtle signs of you being in a certain phase of your period. So it can be a lot, you know. Sometimes we're just too busy to like focus on every single phase that we're in, but like start with your menstrual cycle, you know, trying to support yourself throughout it. What are you gonna do and not do throughout that period of time, and the foods that you're going to be eating and supporting yourself with, or the tendencies that you have while you're in this phase. Like just being very self-aware of your habits and the thing, how you feel and everything like that, I think is really, really important. So I think I've already said this. Like I said, if you're on birth control, it's taking away your natural rhythm, right? So unfortunately, you're technically not going through this natural phase, but I do think it's still important that you understand this, because I even said this on the podcast episode. It's kind of crazy to me how us women, we get put on birth control, or we go on birth control, and we don't even understand these phases that we go through, like naturally. Like we don't even understand our natural state before we alter our natural state. So I think that's it's kind of scary, and I did it too. Like I was on birth control for so long until I got into the health and wellness space, very holistic side of health and wellness, and I was like, I don't need this. Like I really don't need this. And I did a lot of research, and you know, throughout the years I've learned how to support myself. So this is, like I said, this is just another tool in your toolbox of learning how to step more into your feminine energy that you can use, and that you can feel more empowered, and you can remind yourself, like, I'm a woman, I am different, and that is okay that I'm different. There's gonna be days that I feel down, there's gonna be days that I feel like I have high energy, and I'm gonna be able to tell myself, like, you know what, yep, that's me. There's nothing wrong with me, like this is just how I am, and that's that. So hopefully this video helped. Again, all you need to do, like if you can't even get that book, go on Pinterest and type in cycle syncing or foods to eat in different phases of your menstrual cycle, your infraredian cycle. all the same kind of stuff, and you'll get food lists and even different supplements that you can be taking, all of these little things that you can do to kind of like incorporate throughout your life. Again, you don't have to be perfect with it. You're not gonna be perfect with it. I am not perfect with it. I try and use it when I can, and again, I eat pretty healthy. Like, I eat healthy already, and I have a pretty healthy lifestyle. Okay, my camera just overheated, so I opened up my door, so hopefully you can't hear the background very loud. But like I was saying, I eat very healthy already, and I live a pretty healthy lifestyle. So I think that really is the reason why my period is so regular, because I have been living like this for a long time. And again, this is not to throw shade on somebody who has a regular period. Like, really, it's not. I think it's just about learning how to empower yourself and learn, and don't get down on yourself if it takes you a very long time to get in the hang of taking care of yourself and learning your body. Like, we're on this journey of health and wellness and self-improvement and all these things, and things take time. So I think that's it for this video. Hopefully it helped you a little bit. Like I said, the links for the book, and I will write the app down in the description as well if you know, like, you want to learn more about that. And also, again, just go on Pinterest and you can type in like foods and supplements and things like that. If you want to see like a vlog, I'm thinking about doing like some type of vlog, I don't know, to show you guys some of the things, supplements, and what I eat and things like that. But without further ado, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe because more videos are coming. I love you. See you in the next one.